Hey everyone, Rich at Rivera Urban Homestead. It is Tuesday. I just got off work. My neighbor next door, he owns a tree company. He has some wood chips for me. So let's go unload some wood chips and we'll see how much we get. I think it's a whole truckload. So I just chipped up all the stuff that was sitting over here. Just a bunch of wood has been laying on this side of the house. Look at how dark and fertile that is. We're just gonna load up the wood chips here. Yeah, so get that truckload back here of wood chips, hopefully before the rains get here. And then this weekend, that's gonna be our project. We'll talk about wood chips, distributing them, stuff like that. We have wood chips. Hi Bubba, is that a tall thing of wood chips? Look at how many wood chips, guys. Huge truckload. Takes up the whole side of my house.
Now, get down.
Time for some shoveling. Hello everyone, Rich at Rivera Urban Homestead. I was going to do a good video on the wood chips, benefits of wood chips, using the wood chips, just to talk about wood chips. But I could barely even get outside to do anything because it's once again raining and we are going to get more rain. But as you can see, I got a lot of wood chips still. We gotta do a video on it one of these days. Hi everyone, welcome to Rivera Urban Homestead. I know I haven't done a video in a couple of weeks, but truthfully, it has been raining every weekend. This weekend it wasn't raining that much, but the heat and the humidity and the mosquitoes, I didn't do anything again this weekend. Fished for a little while and just kind of hung out around the house. But I'm barbecuing some ribs right now, so while that is cooking, let's just go out to the garden real quick. There ain't much to see. Here in Zone 9, it's almost July. My garden season is about pretty much over as far as good production. It just gets way too hot and way too humid and the plants don't like to bear fruit. But let's show you what I do have going on right now. First thing we have trying to hang on is the cucumbers. Obviously during the day the leaves kind of fold over because they don't want to get all that sun exposure. So that's just a heat defense basically. But we are getting some good growth, a lot of flowers, and I did notice that I have one cucumber down here starting, and hopefully now that the rain is over, we're going to get more pollinators around here and that will trigger them to, you know, do more female. Because the first thing that a cucumber plant does is it puts out male flowers just to see if there's any pollinators around. If there's enough pollinators coming through, then they'll start putting out female flowers, which will then give you your cucumbers. So cucumber plants are trying to hang in there. That Thuricide really did a good job. It took care of most of those caterpillars. So we are getting new growth, and you can see no holes. New growth up top here, no holes. So we'll see what happens. It is getting awfully hot here though. One thing that is working somewhat good is the melons. The melon plants are growing. They are liking this heat. And as you can see right there, getting some flowers. And I actually thought I just saw a little tiny melon. Look at this, guys. Let me point to it so I can find it on my camera. There it is. A little watermelon. So hopefully these guys do well. They do not mind the heat, so they should be good. I think next weekend we're gonna obviously pull these potatoes because that didn't. Once those winds came and the storm started coming, they broke all of my potato plants. Just broke them in half, man. And unfortunately, this purple jalapeno plant it got snapped at the base. I didn't have it tied up or nothing, and the winds came and just snapped it. But I still have this one. The red Marconis have a couple of big old red Marconis right here. And we'll see. Now that the rains have subsided, hopefully these plants start working a little better. My poblanos, we got a couple scattered around in there. And this plant is getting tall, and I see new flower buds starting on that. So the hot peppers should do all right in the heat. And of course, my Korean dark green plant is always a great producer. More flowers coming in. As you can see, plenty of these nice, beautiful hot peppers. The tomato plant, that is a volunteer plant. I did not plant this tomato plant, but as you can see on this guy, we are getting tons of tomatoes. Tons of tomatoes, more tomatoes up there, more back there. And I think this is probably going to be those yellow gooseberries. But again, I didn't plant it, so I'm not sure. What else? This is the plant that I got at the store, a tomato plant. It was like a hybrid. I think it's called 100 Sweet or something like that. I just planted it in this pot. Put some wood chips around it to keep it somewhat cooler. But as you can see, we're getting a bunch of flowers starting. So hopefully we get some tomatoes out of that. The string beans, I don't know. They're not really doing that great. This strand is doing all right here. And there's a couple of flowers, but nothing too amazing. The Hishido bunching onions, and yes, I know I have to weed everything out. This bed is pretty much done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weed it. I'm going to add compost to it, and then I'm going to cover it in wood chips and just let it sit until about October when I start planting for the cool season. Over here we're getting some kind of bean here. That's a pretty nuts looking bean. That's a big bean, long and thin. But getting a couple little green beans there. Again, this bed will just be dedicated to the watermelon plant. Hopefully we get some watermelons. Flowers are starting to come back. And this tomato bucket we're going to harvest too. But that's about it. Not much happening. I still have to get back here and clean up that broken branch that fell off of my tree in one of the storms. Sorry about the AC unit. It's blowing. It's hot, guys. We need to have the AC on. It's hot, and guess what I'm doing? Like I told you, I am slow cooking ribs for 5 hours out here. That's what I do. My bushes need trimmed. My flower bed is just blowing up. I mean, it needs to be manicured. Hello, bumblebee. Gotta like that. Gotta like the bees, man. I love them. Come on, pollinate. So, my free resource I have that I got from my neighbor, thank you. Again, this big old truck full of wood chips. And with these wood chips, I'm going to put a lot of them into the banana area. I'm going to totally put about maybe a foot or a half a foot of wood chips in that banana area. And that'll just keep that soil nice and cool. It'll keep them fed, because as it breaks down, it'll start feeding them, right? And it'll also feed the, you know, all the microorganisms and stuff like that in the bed. Let's see what my temperature is at here on my digital. A little hot still. 303. It's slowly going down. Let's go out back. I'll show you what's going on back there real quick. My banana plant just keeps getting bigger and bigger. That thing is, man, 18 foot maybe? I don't even know. 20 foot? That's a 2-story house, and it is almost up to the roof on that thing. Those little bananas are kind of ripening up, but there's really no fill inside of them. It doesn't seem like they actually produced inside of the bananas, but I'm going to leave them there for a minute. But eventually what I need to do is I need to cut this banana plant down now and give room. Look at the next one coming in already. Look at how big it is. So I need to get rid of this one so he has room to grow. And then my pups are getting a lot bigger on this massive beast. Chickens are doing good, producing good eggs. I always wanting to come out here, but they always like to dig right next to the bananas, and I'm scared they're gonna like kill them by digging up their roots and stuff. They have that whole area over there, but no. Grass is always greener on the other side. I do let them out when I'm watching them because there is a lot more grass on this side. But, alright, alright. Come on. Hi. Hi, everybody. Stay out of the bananas. So yeah, this time of year in Zone 9, hot, humid, it's only going to get hotter. The tomatoes, hopefully, I mean, we're getting some right now, which is awesome, but I bet by August, they might throw some flowers out, but they probably won't fruit because it's just too dang hot here. I know most of you guys are just now ramping up. You're getting going here. This is prime time for up north. But down here, this time of year is the worst part for gardening this summer. We start really getting going on all of our stuff usually in about September, October. That's when we start planting out a lot of stuff. What I'm going to start doing probably next month is I'm going to start my tomatoes from seed, start my peppers from seed, and I'm going to put them out probably in September out here. And they'll produce all winter long, winter for you guys, cool season for me. So I haven't forgot about you guys. I'm sorry my videos have been very inconsistent lately. I've just been, you know, it's been hot, it's been rainy, and I haven't really done much in the garden because it's nasty out. Mosquitoes and I have been doing a lot of fishing though. I have been doing a lot of fishing. I haven't been catching a lot of fish, but I've been doing a lot of fishing. So anyway, this is just a quick hello. I am still here. Next weekend we might do a more intense wood chip video, give you more of the benefits, really talk about it a lot more and show you how I implement them in the garden. I can make compost piles out of them. I could put them in the beds, obviously, to keep the temperature down in the soil and whatnot, but we'll talk more about that next week. Oh, and look at here. Big Bad Anthony. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? Not much?
Ask you a question.
He's going to ask me for money probably, guys. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about.
For new clothes.
Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to cook these ribs and get ready for work tomorrow. So everyone have a good week, and we'll talk to you next weekend.